Okay, today we're hanging stuff that you're really gonna like. Let me show you. Art or Arte, manufactured in Belgium. It's a Grasscloth. It's Grasscloth. Is it good stuff? Of course. And we're putting it on this wall over here. Alrighty. So we primed the wall with an acrylic primer. You really want your wallpaper to adhere the best. Did you ever have a problem with a sheet of wallpaper and you had to take it down? And perhaps you took it down and it kind of pulled off a little bit of the paint because you put the best stuff on it, but you didn't wait a long time. Well, we primed these walls with an acrylic clear coat on Friday. Today's Monday. Nothing is gonna happen now. Nothing. It's good stuff. Good stuff. The longer you let it dry, the better it is. Okay? And then maybe after that, I'll take you out on the boat and we will go out on that beautiful water there. What do you think? Now, we always read the directions, no matter how long you've been hanging paper. You always want to check the directions out. Apply the paste evenly to the wall. There you go. Very good. It's very important to know that. Now, for all of these natural products, you want to use a low moisture paste. Low moisture. Why? Well, as you can see, I mean, it's common sense, right? Once this backing gets wet, oh, this is like the best. I love this I love this backing. But once that gets wet, this is very susceptible to penetrating because it's natural product. It's not, there's no plastic in it. There's nothing like that. There's no vinyl in it. Anytime you have a natural product, you want to use a low moisture because the only thing standing between your natural product and your backing is this thin layer. I'm sorry. The only thing you have between your natural product and your paste, I meant to say, is this thin layer of backing, which is very porous. So on natural products, make a note, please. On natural products, because of the susceptibility of absorption to the natural fibers, you want to use a low moisture paste. And why is that? Because low moisture will be disinclined to penetrate through this backing barrier. That's all you need. We just want some glue on this. It's very lightweight. This stuff is light per square foot. So we don't need a heavy duty paste that contains more moisture. We simply want to make this attached to the wall without bleeding through the front, because you can stain the front. If paste comes out and you have paste in blotches here and then over here, what's it going to do? You're going to see it on the wall. It's a little lesson when you're hanging natural products. And there are hangers that have been hanging for 10 years and they truly don't know this because there's no one out there to teach them this. See, I went to a university for wallpaper hanging. I went to the University of Hard Knocks, and let me tell you something. The professor there, Spencer Colgan, this guy was very tough. We got along, but he taught us all of this stuff. So our wall is a certain amount of inches wide, correct? And so we want our wallpaper to lay out nicely, symmetrically. So our wallpaper sheet is 27.5 inches wide. in order to lay it out properly, we want a respectable amount to be at the edge on an accent wall in particular, or the focal wall in a room. What's an accent wall? An accent wall is the wall that gets the wallpaper or paint. That's the accent. But the focal wall is the wall at which you're looking when you enter the room. That's the main wall. So this is not only an accent wall, but this is the focus, right? And so we want symmetry. And therefore, we determine where is the center. Okay, so we mark the center, and then we see. If we put our edge against the center and measure 27 inches and a half here, 27 and a half here, 20, and then we come up with a respectable amount on the end. We don't want anything less than 6 inches. This is the least amount of wallpaper you want on the edge, this much. Okay, so just picture that. That's acceptable, but this is not. If you were to cut a sliver from here to here, no. So you want to measure from the center. That's going to give you a respectable amount. Okay? How do you do that? You take your wallpaper. Several ways you can do it, but you want it with the following in mind. You can either take the center of your wallpaper, which is where my thumb is, and you could put it on the center of the wall and then measure accordingly. Look, you do this with a tape measure. I'm just doing it for your visual ease, okay? Now look at this. You don't want that. And see, center. This worked out better. Check this out. See? Look at that respectable amount. It's 14 inches or so. That's all you got to do. The rest is easy peasy. Anybody can do what I'm doing. Anybody can do. And because I know so much, it's because I've made so many mistakes. So now when you paste the wall, that's all you want. That's it. Can you see it? Not too much. If you're making big marks when you do that, you've put too much. This is important. This is a lightweight product. Your paper, your natural paper. I mean, go with the directions, but we know it's a lightweight. And so we don't want to put too much. We don't need it a lot. So I just trimmed it at 100 inches. I gave myself 4 inches. And so we always want to mark the top. Always putting top. Go light, because you could see through it. So we rolled the paper up in such a way that I can start unrolling it like that against the wall. Okay? Remembering that that's my top. And this is called dry hanging. Okay? And that's the best way to do it so that you can keep it square with the level that we're going to use. I didn't bring my laser level into the condo because I'm just going to use a lot of stuff to bring out. We're up all the way up at the top, you know. I'll reduce the amount of tools. All right, so. It does make it easier to have a laser. Okay, so hopefully we're almost perfectly straight. Yeah. Sometimes we're not. Always making sure that our tool is clean. Okay. Okay, pretty good guess. Okay. So the hands have to be extremely clean. Come in close, please. See, the paste is such low moisture, it's already tacking up. So you gotta work quicker. It's my fault. So don't panic if it happens to you. Okay, you can shut the camera off. I just hung peel and stick last week. Nightmare. The customer thought my applicator was scratching her product. Once a customer thinks that, very hard to change their mind. And here's the deal. I've made a decision not to wallpaper any more rooms. Just a wall, that's fine. Here's why. If you're thinking about wallpaper, usually people who watch my videos in detail are either hardcore do-it-yourselfers or they're professional paper hangers. It's an inferior product, peel and stick. I do it because I'm a hardcore paper hanger. I don't like turning down challenges. That's really why I do it. It's not that I need the job, because there's plenty of jobs. But here's the thing. If you're a real pro, you know you have a lot of pride in your work. The products out there today are generally, I'd say half of them are inferior. And so I do a lot of my estimates over the phone. I FaceTime people, I look at the job, I look at the product. I can't tell if it's not coated with a protective coating. This one wasn't. You don't want to ask somebody, how much did you pay for it? $30 a roll. If it's $30 a roll, don't hang it. It's probably garbage. Well, anyway, they scratch. So here's what happens, and I want to share it with you. So, can you come in close? The color comes off of the product. And when the color comes off, here's what happens. I showed the customer, look, your color is coming off. That color is a solid when it dries. It crystallizes. And as you're smoothing it out, even if you're using a felt smoother, it drags that little grain of color against the product and scratches it. And you get the blame. So, I can tolerate that for one accent wall, but not for a room where you're turning corners, inside corners and outside corners. It makes for a lot of stress. And as paper hangers, we finish the artist's work. Paper hangers are not artists. I don't buy that for a second. But we finish the artistic work of the designer who made the pattern. And so we make it look good. You know, like you go to a hair cutter, he enhances the good looking face you have. So we love what we do. You have to, you could never do this. Anyway, I told the lady, your color is scratching. And she insisted that I use a felt smoother. The problem with these felt smoothers is that they're only about 4 inches wide. And in order to fan out a product, you need 6 to 8 inches of a smoother. Something this big is only going to make grooves in it the way your fingernail would. I'll show you. Can you bring them in close? Let me prove it to them. Okay, come in close. Watch this. If I smooth it out with something thin like my thumb, look what I made on the wall. Now watch this. If I use something wider to smooth the surface out, see what I'm doing? Look at the difference. You get the picture. You get the point. That's all I wanted to say about that. Now this stuff is a pleasure to hang. It's quality stuff, you know. I felt like an idiot when I was struggling with the whatchamacallit, peel and stick. So if you're a professional and your customer starts telling you how to hang wallpaper, you can't blame them. But if you continue to allow it, you can blame yourself. Here's why. Once a customer takes over the process, they're telling you in a nice way, I've lost confidence in you. So here's how I regained confidence in the customer, or from the customer. She began smoothing it out herself. So I said, okay, I'll let her fail, because she's very stubborn. So she takes the smoother, 4 inches wide, and starts pressing down. So I just looked over, I said, have you made track marks yet? She said, yeah. I said, do me a favor, stop doing that. Just like that. And after that, she left me alone. You know, it's like a kid. You tell, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. They keep doing it. Eventually, what do? You let them get a little like, you let them fail. If they're trying to be a know-it-all. It's the best teaching skill. She said, yeah. I said, okay. Now, do me a favor and go inside and leave me alone. All of a sudden, I was the best guy. You know? Porque yo le dije, estoy creando problemas con mi trabajo. No es necesario. And she said, I want to get the air out. I want to get the air out. I said, open the window. She said, what do you mean? Today I got a guy at my house. And he's putting down my floor. Can you do floors? I can't. Oh, Spencer, it's just like wallpaper. No, it isn't. I can't emphasize enough with using low moisture paste for the reasons we discussed earlier. Now, if you're just tuning in and you're one of those people who can barely tolerate me, I get a lot of comments on the weekend from people. They say, shut up. You pee. Shut up. And I've become a real professional with thick skin. That just draws money to my channel. That's all it does. When you say, shut up, you do good work, but you don't shut up. The more you write, the more advertisers target my channel to put a video in front of your face. So shut up. So when we get to the edge of an accent wall that has Grasscloth, we have to take into consideration that we want to cut the wall covering before we bring it to the wall. Now, if we're going to continue as if we're wallpapering the entire room, it's different. We cut it rough. We gave it an extra inch or so on the edge. But if you're going to continue here, obviously it has to be measured perfectly at different parts of this strip to see which is the greatest distance from the edge to the corner, and then you add an 1/8 or 3/16. But for this, we simply cut down through the wallpaper from top to bottom, giving ourselves about an inch or so. Because these products are not easy to bend. This isn't so bad. But some grass cloths are very hard to bend. So the point is, you don't want to go into this corner with a full sheet in your hand. You know, it's a sophomoric error. What does that mean? You ever hear sophomore error? So what I'm doing here is using a little moisture on my hands as a tool with which I can move my wallpaper into position. So I wet my hand a bit, just the palm, making sure that it's clean, right? And it just gives it enough traction to move the wall covering into place. Now, since you've been good following so far, here's what I want to show you. Watch this. We want to bend the corner. We want to bend it into the corner. So here we go. Watch it. I'm holding this in place. And I'm making a crease in my corners. When I get to the bottom, I press on the baseboard like this. Because if I don't, I might put a crease where I don't want it. Don't do that. Bad decision. So I'm pushing on the wall, in. I'm not doing this. The less you touch your wall covering, the better. The less. Okay. Then we go to our knife. And here's another little trick when you get grass cloth. You want to use your fingers rather than the tool. Watch this. I want to find my corner. Some grass cloths, this will go right through it. I happen to know this won't, but you just, again, you push it in with your finger, you make a crease. So now you know where to cut it. And you're gonna cut down and away. If you cut this way, you might cut too much off. The good thing is if I cut too much off, I just stop the video and edit it so that you can think I'm really good at what I do. Now, if you can come behind me, just come right behind me. Come right behind me, very good. Very nice. Now let them see this action. We're gonna put this down here. Now watch this, just listen to this. Did you hear that? I penetrated the wall product so that I can get a sharp cut. Okay, let's do this. You're not cutting it like this. You're cutting it. You're giving yourself more wallpaper rather than less. Oh. Then we go to the bottom, penetrate it, pull up. There you go. Okay. We go in, push it in. Now here's what I like to do. I push it in and I move my smoother with the knife. Okay, see that? You see the difference? Why I do that? You don't have to know why I do it. Just do it like that. Okay. I mean, you really don't have to know why, right? It's a long explanation. Sometimes the answer is just like you tell your kids. If they say, why? You say, because I said so. Okay, because I said so. Why? Shame on parents who explain everything to their little Johnny. Johnny, if you don't do that, the bike is gonna roll backwards and I'm afraid you'll hurt your head. Let him hurt his head. Just kidding. Just kidding. Don't be reporting me. Just kidding. I got in trouble making jokes. A couple of times in my life. One, I was in the police academy. Joke. Let's just say it was in one of the biggest cities up in the Northeast. It's for an agency who claims to have the best police in the whole world. When I was a police officer, I actually believed that. I believed it. I said, we're the best. They say we are. I'll leave that to the public. Right here, all I'm doing is just filling my corner with evening out the paste so it doesn't, I don't want anything in the corner. Now, when we do corners like that, we tend to stay away from this wall, so oftentimes we therefore need just to bring a little paste over to the corner. Okay, that's it. All right, that's how you do your corners. If you wanted to stop now, you could stop watching me. I'm just going to clean the customer's wall. They have a little dirt on it. I like to do that. And or you can continue with me because you've become addicted to my personality, which I understand. It happens. All right, I'll see you in the next frame. So we are watching a plane take off. And this is right outside the Al Lang Stadium, which has been around for over 55 years, which was primarily used as a baseball stadium. Probably for one of the teams.
I think it's Ray.
For spring training.
Mm-hmm. So the Ray's over here too, so.
And that's it. So, do you like it? You have to love this stuff, no? It's soft, it matches with everything. Right or wrong? Let's go up close. Look at the beautiful hand work that goes into this product. Look at it. It's gorgeous. So that's the people who made it. But where the paper hanger comes in is he has to, or she has to, make sure that there's symmetry on each end. And if you do that, you did your job. The rest is really the beauty from the manufacturer. If you like it, please click on like, subscribe to my channel for more videos.